Well, it was a good win. I think we were at our best, but Charleston Southern had a lot to do with that. They threw a good on at us, and I was very impressed with their team, especially their pitchers. But Graham got us off to a good start, threw the ball extremely well, and Coley finished it up. He got us some big outs. So it's a well-pitched game on both sides, and luckily we pitched and played really good defense and put together that one inning, and it was good enough to get us a win. Told the team after, the game that Charleston Southern could go on with their pitching staff and have a really decent year. They're already 11-6, I guess, and it's good to beat opponents that have winning records when it comes NCAA tournament time, and hopefully they'll go on and have a good year, and that'll be another feather in our cap at the end. I'm thankful to win. We won, and we weren't necessarily at our best, but a lot of that has to do with the way Charleston Southern played and their pitchers that threw against us. So all in all, I'm happy, and have a good workout tomorrow and get ready for the weekend.
What was Graham doing that was so effective?
Well, he's throwing strikes, and he had a lot of life in his fastball, and the ball was sinking and running, and I think the first inning he was hitting 94 miles an hour, and that's pretty good for him. And and he had command of the strike zone, and sometimes that gets away from him from time to time. It didn't get away from him tonight, and a big performance from him. And it was good that John Park got in there and got some big outs for us too, and that was important. And we didn't have to tax our bullpen much, and so we'll go into Friday night, pretty fresh on all fronts in regards to who's available out of the pen, and that was a good part. We got contributions from a number of different pitchers, and certainly Graham started us off.
The weekend guys get a lot of attention, but do you feel like right now the whole staff's just really throwing well?
Well, yeah, we're throwing well, and we're playing really solid defense, and I think that's, said from the get-go, that's the backbone of our team, and I think we have a good chance to be a really good offensive team too. We're just, we have a great game, and then we'll have an okay game. But when those okay games, you still find a way to win. That's important. And but yeah, Graham was good. Like I said, John Park was good, and and we on Sunday at Tennessee we had some guys that hadn't been out there much that were really good and helped us win. So we're getting some contributions from a lot of different people. And Coach Meyer's done a great job with our staff, and just move on to the next one.
How important has Hunter been not only tonight but just these last few weeks?
Well, Cullen's banged up, and and his knees, he's not 100%, and our kids love Hunter in there. He brings us energy and enthusiasm. He's into every pitch, and our pitchers like throwing to him, and he's a big part of our team. And I think that we'll always think the world of Hunter, and the story of him coming back after deciding to transfer, and he's got a close place in my heart because he just wanted to be a part of this. And I think now he's a much more important factor than he probably thought he was going to be. But he's one of our best, and he's certainly going to be a big factor, as we continue our season.
Looking ahead to Alabama, where's Clark this weekend and updating Tyler?
I'm going to make a decision on Clark tomorrow. I anticipate him throwing. I do not know I'm not ready to say if he's going to throw Friday. I feel good about him throwing. I could throw him and start him on Sunday. I could pitch him out of the pen. And I'm going to sleep on it tonight, and I'll announce it in the morning. What time we got to announce it by?
By 11.
By 11, and we're going to see how he feels tonight, because he did some throwing pregame, and just want to see how he's recovering. But I feel very, very good and optimistic that he's going to be a factor this weekend. I don't know necessarily what day and what role, but he's going to factor in. I think he's ready. He had a good bullpen session yesterday, and a little sore today. But I think as the week, as another day goes by, I think he'll be ready to go.
Tyler and Chris Cullen?
Cullen is, he's day-to-day. I mean, he'll be active for the weekend, and, the squatting is what irritates Cullen, and he's going to have to play through some pain. Everything's structurally sound in his knee. He did have he needed this week off. He needed some rest this week because he got some treatment from the doctor, and he needed to rest and did some things to take care of the swelling, but I feel fine. I'm sure he'll catch at some point this weekend. And Tyler is we got a little update on him. He will start throwing on Monday, and then hopefully as the 4 or 5 days pass, if he's not feeling any pain, we'll get a couple bullpens in, and hopefully everything goes well, 100% ready to go. Series after Auburn, so Vanderbilt is our goal for Tyler right now, and but he's going to start throwing Monday, and we're going to gear him up and let him go. And if he has no setbacks, that looks like it's going to be the time frame.
They got off to a rough start last week, Alabama, but what's the scouting report on these guys?
Well, they're a good team. I mean, they got good pitchers. We faced them last year. They got some guys that have had good summers in the Cape, and guys that are going to be drafted pretty high. Their position players were young last year, a couple of them, but really had good weekends against us last year and hit some home runs. And it's SEC baseball. They're good enough to beat anybody in the country on any given day, and we expect it's going to be very, very difficult to score, and hopefully our guys make it difficult on them to score. But it's going to be close games, and hopefully we'll play better than them, and that usually is what makes the difference. Luckily we're at home, and hopefully our crowd will get into it. But it'll be another competitive SEC weekend. They got off to a rough start, but I know their personnel and I know their players, and they have a really good team. They put it together on any weekend, they'll beat your tail. So we certainly got to be ready to go.
Odd to see 6 sweeps in the SEC, especially 3 on the road on opening weekend.
Yeah, it is. It's different. It doesn't happen much, and it's a long year, and there's 27 more games that we all have, and you just when you can get a win, you take it, and it's odd to see what happened on the road, but this league has a way of giving back too, and it's just a funny way. You think you're down and out, and you lose a tough one, and the next thing you know, you've won 4 or 5 in a row, and it goes the other way, and it's just you just got to take it. I know it's coaching cliche, but in this league, you take it one pitch at a time, and you cherish every win you get, and you try to bounce back if you have a tough loss, and not like one loss become 2. And I think that's one of the reasons why this program over the long haul in the league's been successful is try not to get too high when things are going well, and not panic when you lose a tough series or lose a couple in a row. It's just, and at the end of the day, you try to get over 15 wins in the league, and then you're in a good spot for the NCAA tournament. But one game at a time. We look forward to playing on Friday night, and hopefully we'll play well.
I ask one final thing on Hunter. Just how much does it help with so many young guys? How much does he help them?
Well, he's a great leader, and like I said, he brings enthusiasm every day, whether we're in practice or whether in a game. And the pitchers, he's yelling at them every pitch. I don't know if you guys can hear him up there, but he's into it, and our pitchers love that. He gives our team energy, and his leadership has been extremely important and valuable, especially with the situation that's going on with our catchers. That Jones has been struggling a little bit, and Cullen's hurt, so he's been huge for us. And we've had a number of guys that probably going into the year you thought maybe weren't going to be a big part of things. And I mean, you guys probably hadn't heard of Coley Bowers before the year started. Now he's one of the best relievers in the country. So, we've had some guys step up, and Hunter's certainly leading the pack in regards to that. So, thanks.